In today's video, we'll be seeing shocking moments caught on camera that no one would have ever seen without it. From suspicious flying orbs floating around your backyard, to a young man jumping into a bin of day-old diapers, or even perhaps looking up at a jaw-dropping floating city behind the clouds, let's get right into it. Angel in Ghana. When people hear the word angels, they usually imagine human-like figures clad in white robes, with majestic white bird-like wings and a golden halo above their head. So, when this video of two human-like figures with wings surfaced in late 2014, people had been claiming that these were angels caught on camera. The figures were reportedly sighted in Dansum in Ghana, and were later shown on a Ghanaian news channel. The news reporter was sharing it on a segment titled An Encounter with the Dead. So what exactly were these mysterious figures, you might ask? Well, the video's origin isn't as supernatural as you might think. Back on February 19, 2014, a YouTube user by the name of Justin Carlos had uploaded a video titled Anjos Filmados no Cielo. Pretty sure I mispronounced that, but that's just how it goes. The contents in this video was the exact same video that was shown in the news report that was claimed to be an angel sighting. As it turns out, these figures were merely CGI, and Justin even uploaded a video on December 6, 2014, explaining where he made the animation. Although the videos have long been deleted, this goes to show that you shouldn't believe everything you see, even when it's shown on the news. Coachella puppy dumping. At first look, there seems to be nothing of the ordinary in the security cam footage. Just a lady stomping by, dumping her trash, and simply driving away. Really, nothing weird, suspicious, or terrifying, right? Well, it turns out that wasn't the case. A passerby had seen the incident and felt that something was off, so he decided to check. What he saw was absolutely heartbreaking. Inside the plastic bag the woman had thrown were 7 3-day-old puppies. Just how low can you be to throw these poor little pups away instead of taking them to the proper facilities? The man who had found the animals decided to take them into the store where the trash bin was located. There, an employee called the Riverside County Department of Animal Services. It did take the officers less than an hour before they arrived to retrieve the litter of pups. Sadly, though, the dogs did pass away 3 days later. Fortunately, though, the lady who had been identified as Deborah Sue Cole was arrested and sentenced to 365 days in jail for animal cruelty. This also includes a probation which prohibits her from owning any animals whatsoever up until 2016. A bit of a small punishment, but hey, at least something got done. Flying light orbs. It's normal nowadays to see dust particles and reflections show over video recordings at night. But this ring camera at a residential home captured something that looked kinda unnatural. Saturday night in Florida, 6 link spheres arranged in a straight line can be seen traveling back and forth in the air in this home's backyard. The orbs become larger and the length of the links grow longer as it moves around, fading in and out of frame at times. The homeowner immediately surrendered her footage to reporters and specifically stated that it was the first time she had ever seen something like this on her camera. She usually only saw random creatures from the woods where the camera was facing. Weirdly enough, these light green balls of light have been seen and recorded since way back in the 1950s. They're especially prevalent in the southern portions of the U.S. Sisaba Palatai, aerospace chairman at Florida Tech, called the sighting a fascinating phenomenon and strongly believes that these may be of extraterrestrial origins. Hiding with diapers and cat litter. Ew. Caught on the security tape in Oregon is a young man frantically trying to flee from the police. In a moment of panic, he did what arguably only movie characters would do and climbed into the nearest trash bin. He was quick on his feet and slid into safety without any regard of where he was even hiding. According to the homeowner, that trash bin was specifically filled with used baby diapers and a lot of cat litter that day. It is kinda hard to imagine hiding there with a 90-degree Fahrenheit weather for more than a minute. However, this young man stayed inside the bin for a whopping 30 full minutes before leaving. From police reports, he and some buddies were suspected of stealing from the nearby Walmart. Moments later, you could even see the police officer come into frame and pass by the trash bins. The local officer could even be heard talking to young kids up ahead to ask where they saw the young man run off to. But this boy was resilient and really didn't want to get dragged to a police station with his parents, even if it meant staying there for half an hour. Can't imagine the smell leaving his clothes anytime soon. Columbia or Fata Morgana. In the Chinese town of Foshan one early morning, people looking up at the sky had the shock of their lives. Amidst the clouds sits a foggy metropolis of buildings that look straight out of Bioshock's Columbia, a city in the sky. From high ground, it also appears like a floating city against the sea. The internet went straight into work and began a fierce debate on why such phenomenon occurred. There was quite a bit of panic at the initial sight of this, but it was reported that the city faded into the fog moments later. Conspiracy theories followed and everyone was split. One side truly believed that they saw a city in the sky, and the other side believes that this was simply the phenomenon called Fata Morgana, a superior image called a mirage where the bending of light passing through the atmosphere causes us to see things that aren't really there. However, it is important to note that meteorologists in the area do not believe that a mirage of that caliber was possible in the region that it was found. Strange noises in the woods. A mysterious animal sound was caught on camera late at night near Rockhurst University, Missouri. It was such a strange sound that nobody was really sure where it came from. Granted, the internet loves to poke in their conspiracy theories of Bigfoot and cryptids of myth, so the footage was sent immediately to the Lakeside Nature Center to be examined by experts. Rather than Bigfoot, one of the specialists believed the first portion of the sound to have come from a hawk, but they needed a hot minute when they heard the second part where the sound's pitch drops and echoes in a strange manner. It really wasn't possible for a hawk to change pitches like that, so their next guess was that it was just a person making that sound. But what kind of person would be screaming like this at the dead of night? The specialist brought in another expert to check the clip once more, and they were pleasantly surprised to know that this third expert knew exactly what it was. The culprit was in fact 25-year-old Hootie, a barred owl in the area that is actually known by caretakers to make those exact awful screams whenever it's restrained or needed help. Miracle Tree. What locals referred to as a miracle tree refused to be removed or uprooted. Prior to the video, men with chainsaws had previously attempted to get rid of this tree, but their equipment strangely no longer worked as they arrived. But the government was adamant about removing this tree and brought in a caterpillar to do the digging. You can clearly see on the video how the tree refuses to give up and continues to come back down even as it's uprooted from the ground. It's persistent, and you can hear the superstitious people in the background cheer loudly as they don't wish to see this historical tree be taken down. However, the crowd did go quiet as soon as the caterpillar began to crush the tree on the ground, giving it no more room to return. There are no reports surfacing, but local gossip around the area spread that a day after the tree was removed, the tractor was decommissioned because the operator had died that day of unknown causes. Honestly, if you're gonna mess with anything, just don't mess with Mother Nature. A lucky and brave child. Any reports involving children can really keep you on the edge of your seat, and this 2-year-old girl did just that with her little adventure. Surveillance videos caught her leaving her apartment, walking across the street, and going into a gas station store at 11 in the evening all alone. The toddler was fully dressed in her boots and winter coat with 2 pennies in her hand, ready to buy some candy from the store. Store owner Muhammad Abbas II was absolutely shocked at the scene as the young girl put down her only 2 pennies on the counter while asking for candy. With no parents in sight, Muhammad instantly locked the door so she couldn't wander off somewhere else and called the police. Cops arrived within minutes and took the girl, who was already crying at this point as she didn't want to get in trouble. It wasn't until about an hour later that her parents were finally found and brought into the police station to have the scolding of their lives from the police officers. Apparently, the young girl had snuck out when her parents were upstairs and bravely walked through the cold and dark night just to buy herself some candy. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works. Woman ringing doorbells at 3 a.m. What begins as a horrifying video for homeowners ends up being a very tragic case for this young woman. Anyone waking up at 3 in the morning would feel scared when they see this frantic woman ringing doorbells and running around the neighborhood. She's seen in the video as clearly distressed and barefoot, wearing only a t-shirt and restraints hanging off her arms. The mystery lady was finally found and wished only to be referred to as Lauren for privacy reasons. She shared her story on how she ended up in that state during that night. Lauren had woken up in her shared apartment with her boyfriend when he had suddenly attacked her. He was kneeling over her chest, stuffing cloth in her mouth and trying to duct tape her whole head. It was only when he had turned away did she get the opportunity to run out of the house as quickly as she could. 5 days after the incident, police found her boyfriend, Dennis Collins, dead after shooting himself. The man left a letter for Lauren, apologizing for what he had done and wishing he could turn back time. Although feeling a sense of guilt at his passing, Lauren still believes that those videos that caught her had saved her life that day. See you all next time!